YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. Since we last met, I've managed to find a way to lose both games in the league in between our last game in the Champions League, wrong competition, last game in the FA Cup, which was Newcastle against Southampton, and now today we are at home against Leicester City, who are one of the teams to beat me recently. In saying that, we are on our way to achieving our goal of winning the FA Cup in this season. It also helped me achieve my personal goals. If you could hit the subscribe button, that is really horrid pronunciation. We're going to leave this in the video because you guys can have a laugh. And so links down below to come follow more of this madness. And more importantly, you can laugh at me in the comment section for being absolutely illiterate and not being able to say subscription, which I still cannot say. Subscribe, that's the word we're trying to say. There you go. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's episode. It's the 5th round against Leicester. If I do manage to pump Leicester here, nice, quick and easy, go more than a few goals up, I will, of course, do then the quarter final in this episode as well. But we have to talk about the league because things are starting to happen for us to finish 6th and bottle it in the most brilliant way possible. Since we last met, we have not won in the Premier League in 3. I will be aiming to beat Wolves though before rotating against Arsenal. But yeah, we drew to Norwich. We obviously beat Southampton. I played a fully rotated side against Leicester and we lost. And even though I fully rotated, we gave a game against Chelsea. And to be quite fair, we got FM because with a 0.85 XG, we conceded 3 goals. But guess what? I was very happy to see Lukaku do Lukaku things. With that being said, that does leave us in the precarious position of our dynamics taking quite the dive because the form's a little bit patchy and we're creating that ourselves. The budgets and all that is kind of flying out the window, but yet again, that's because the Newcastle haven't pumped their money in, which they normally do towards the end of the season. But let's talk about Leicester. They're a team on the up. They're a team on the rise. They beat Chelsea, who are going for back-to-back Champions League. They have Champions League positions, but back-to-back trophies of Premier League quality here. Though they're trying to win the Premier League for the 3rd time. They're not going to this season. But in saying that, though, even though we have a game in hand, we have got City only 3 points behind us. We have now got West Ham 4 points behind us, 5 points behind us, and Arsenal now within 6 points as well. There is a world where they are slowly starting to catch us, and if we could throw the Arsenal game, that would be massive as well. Now, without further ado, we are going to get straight into this tie here in the FA Cup. In poor form, it's not great. As you can see, these boys haven't played in 2 games because they're all pretty unfit. So, yeah, they're mostly going to get 90 minutes here, if not all of them. With that being said, it is Katker, Salmakers, Mogala, Lacroix and Sergio, Sivet, Tisney and Bellingham, Brown, Isaac and Ossiem. Please note Lacroix hasn't played in 3 because he was suspended for the last FA Cup game. So, yeah, these boys are getting a little bit unfit. Let's get straight into this game. We'll go have a look at what the Leicester squad is looking like as well here quickly too. See if there's some names that we know. Iverson and Net, who, look, Danny Ward's a better keeper in real life, but, you know, it is what it is. James Justin's not 100% in Diddy as well. Luke Thomas still here. Yuri Tielemans still here. Dewsbury Hill still here. Samuel's here. Chucky, great player, good speed. They've got Adriano in the middle as well. Paul's using this guy and his save. He's fantastic. Diego Lanzini used to be an absolute god on FM, and Broja's actually a very good pickup for him too. I will say they've also got Rudiger on the bench and Lindelof, so they do have some quality there of like former players that were good, but now are getting a little bit too old. Gabriel Barbosa is here at 31 as well. That is an interesting signing. He's only worth 5 mil. He's like the perfect backup striker. If I'm Salmon's still here next year, he's going to be the backup to Victor Osimhen. With that being said, though, I will say that most of their starting 11 is a bit unfit, so as long as we shake off the malice of these guys not playing the last 2-3 games competitively, we'll be okay and be able to beat these guys, I think, long term here as well. Without further ado, let's get into the game. We're obviously at home, in front of the Toon, in the black and white. They are in the infamous Leicester Blue, who may be getting relegated in real life. Yuri Tielemans picks up the ball, finds James Justin, and let's get underway with Wilfred Ndindi and Dewsbury Hall. That's a ball that we should win, and Isaac picks it up nice and easily. Sivet now, the ball to Jude Bellingham, who thumps one looking for Victor Osimhen. Finds him here. Can he get a good touch? He does. Back to Isaac. Can he hit one? Instead he gets absolutely crunched. Penalty given. I will say Dewsbury Hall's a little bit unlucky there because I do feel like that shouldn't be a pen. But the fact he's crunched him so hard, FM is probably going to give this a pen. They haven't. I'm actually happy for him because it wasn't a pen. I would take it though. It's the FA Cup. I just need to win every game. Thank you very much. Sailmakers, Brown, still going. ball inside's on. Instead he looks for Sergio. Drives the Brazilian international. Looks to cut it. Finds Isaac. Top of the box. Sivit's not known for shooting ability. Salamaker's now on the right-hand side. He gets tackled. That's not a penalty either. So our first two highlights we're going to see are two penalties that are not going to be penalties. Dewsbury Halls definitely wasn't. This one was outside the box. So, yeah, this won't be given. We know that this is going to become no penalty. Would be nice if we could, do something about scoring a goal. But look, 12 minutes in, we've started well. Just no real clear-cut chance to really look at here. I doubt this set piece ever leads to anything. Sivit's the one taking it as well, of all people. And he chips one in there, and it doesn't even get past the front stick as like Connor gets that one away. Anyway, let's continue on. 58% of the ball. Had all the chances in the game so far. You watch Leicester's first chance be the one that we look to concede, maybe. But anyway, Salamaker's heads. Jude Bellingham picks it up, drives with it, still looks good. Tisney, Isaac, Victor Osimhen made a run, ignored. Fair enough, too. He had 4 guys on him in terms of Isaac to try and play that ball. Jude Bellingham now looks to switch the play. Beats Dewsbury Hall and shrugs off the challenge. Advantage play. Brown's there. Numbers in the box. Cuts back. Salemakers. Jude Bellingham. He knows how to hit him. And it's through Iverson. And Jude Bellingham scores only his fourth goal of the year. But, yeah, he's a very good footballer. Very nicely done from Jude. And he gets into the box late as a box-to-box midfielder. And when he's in this position, he generally scores. And, well, Iverson maybe should do better. It's a poor animation. But we deserve to be 1-0 up. 22 minutes played. We're well on the way to continue to realising our dream, which is to win the FA Cup in this season with Newcastle. Mugala now finds Lacroix, and Lacroix now back in line. Finds Sivit, Tisney. Great work to Salemakers. Still drives with it. Looking good. Can he get down the byline and get a ball in? He does. Isaac heads into the bar. That close to a 2-0 lead. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Highlight ends. We've had 60% of the ball. XG of 0.5. 7 shots. Only 2 on target. But a very dominating display. Sivit with a ball in front stick, cleared away from the corner. Surprised he's taking out corners too there, Sivit. We'll have a look into that too. He's not normally the corner taker. Bellingham, Tisney, Sivit, Bellingham, Mugala. Great movement. Brown, Salemakers. Brown wanted it again, ignored. Back to Sivit. He just played Brown. Brown was in. Tisney knows how to hit him. And he's hit the outside of the post. Would have been nice. He's slowly starting to get a few more goals into his game now as well, realising that world-class potential. Lacroix finds Sergio, finds Tisney, Sivit, Bellingham can turn, Brown is there, great ball over the top, no it wasn't. Iverson makes the brave decision to actually dribble it out of his box, which is fair enough. Brojo tries to chase down, but picked off easily by Lacroix, paid back to our keeper, and we're going to build again from the back, which is a great thing to see. Bellingham, Tisney turns, great work to Salemakers keeping that width, and Brown can get beyond now and pick this one up. Salemakers ignores him again, wants to do everything himself, fair enough. Brown finally gets it, Bellingham moves the ball in, Isaac's there, and well, once the decision was made to play Brown, the game opened up, Isaac's at the back sick, it's 2-0, and Bellingham has a goal and an assist in our most important game of the season to date, because it's all about winning the FA Cup. So every FA Cup game is the most important game of the season. As Bellingham whips one, Isaac volleys, it's 2-0. Thank you very much for coming. That puts us in a very commanding position right on half-time. Leicester yet to register a shot in this game, and a lot of their players are struggling fatigue. I'm happy with the 45 minutes. Let's continue on. Ball's clear, but only as far as Lacroix. If I do make it 3-0 right now, I might just go and come back at the end of the game and see who we get in the quarterfinal. Anyway, Isaac now picks that one up. Osimhen was there. Brown's there. Osimhen kept it in play, or Isaac kept it in play. It was offside. There we are. We didn't score from that highlight, so we're probably just going to go through all of it now as well. Sivit, backstick ball. Brown's there. 3-0. 54th minute play. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. What I might do here, YouTube, is, look, we're 3-0 up. This game's basically dead and buried. What I might do is, because this is a highlight, if we score from this highlight, we're going to end this part of the episode. We're going to come back at the end of the game, recap how many goals we scored, and from 4-0, and we'll probably do the quarterfinal in this episode as well. Brown, Bellingham. If we score from this highlight, Morgala, You watch us hit the bar now, or we can see there's Gabriel Barbosa's on the park, Bellingham, the Crocs, Sergio, the Brazilian international, drives. Rudiger picks someone off with his 9 speed. So they've started bringing the older folk on at the back. Broja, poor touch, should have been on that. But if Broja's that deep, we're in a pretty good position to probably defend this highlight. Isaac, Civet, Tisney, great ball. Looks for Brown, finds him. Lewis Brown, ball in backstick. Isaac arrives late, it's 4-0. I'll see you guys in a second at the end of this game for the quarterfinal draw. Welcome back, YouTube. We won 5-0. You only missed 1 goal. We kind of just sat in. Osimhen scored it as I was trying to make some changes. I think it was Osimhen. Yeah, it was. But yeah, only gave up 1 shot on target in the whole 90. Main reason why we're back, the draw's in 2 days' time. We're going to do that draw. But look at this. Look at this for results in the FA Cup. Fulham knocked out Arsenal on penalties. Norwich beat Leeds, which is kind of standard. Forest nearly did it against United. Spurs knocked out Burnley, whatever. West Brom got through, and that's the team we want. But more importantly, Middlesbrough knocked out Manchester City. So we really have to avoid Man United and Liverpool, and we're probably off to Wembley for a semi-final. And hopefully, in this whoever we get in this second game, we go out there, it's an easy game, we win, and off you go. Look at that for domination. It was brilliant. Just shows that when we are, very, very good at what we do, we are one of the best teams in the Prem. Yes, I know I'm trying to throw away results. We also get to see who wins the Carabao Cup final in this. I'm hoping Chelsea win it, not Palace, because they've been really good in the save Chelsea. Against Palace winning, it's fine. It means I lost to the champions. Just I'm very butthurt still that they FM me. They needed extra time, but Lukaku doing Lukaku things, which means Chelsea will have a game in hand to re-jump us later down the track as well. I'm going to send the assistant out here as well. They're going to tell me to rotate. I'm going to go full strength and try and beat Wolves to keep the momentum going, so then I can fully rotate against Arsenal and get beat. That is the plan. It's all about being strategic. But here we go. Quarterfinal draw. All right. Everyone wants me to get Middlesbrough. I'm happy with Middlesbrough and I'm happy with West Brom, and then there's a few of us that want us to get Liverpool and really have a game. If we got Liverpool and Man United and we won, unless we got the other one in the final, say in the semi, say we get Man United, we knock them out, and then we get Liverpool at Wembley, I can't see a world where we don't make the final if we were to win this quarterfinal. But anyway, let's go in, get it the 3 times, and then see who we're going to get in here as well. I'd rather a home tie. Liverpool first at the bat. Man United, Man United, Man United, Man United, Man United, Man United, Man United. Yeah. Alright, no matter what, unless we get Spurs, it's a game that we should win. And even if it's Spurs, I think we're going to be okay. We're happy with anyone but Spurs, realistically. If we get anyone but Spurs, we're going to make the semi. We got West Brom away. Alright, beautiful. We got a championship side in the quarterfinal. There are West Brom currently are sitting 8th in the championship, fighting for a playoff spot. More importantly, our record against Spurs, superb this season. We beat them with a rotated side. They're on the other side of the draw, which is great in terms of we could get them in the semi or get them in the final. Man United play Liverpool, which means there's only going to be one big team that's probably odds-on favourite to win it with ourselves left in the competition after this round. And if we were to get them in the semi at Wembley, it's a massive game that will be next episode, and we will obviously, be favourites to the final if we were to win that. But with that being said, second part of this episode is going to be West Brom, and well, I'll be back in just a second for that game there. Welcome back, YouTube. The Hawthorns quarterfinal FA Cup. A massive game in the contents of what we're trying to complete here with Glory Hunter. Since we last met, we did throw the game away against Arsenal, beat Wolves and beat Middlesbrough. Both those games we play the full strength side. We're going to win with our second string side, so we might as well play the full strength and then rotate and lose to Arsenal. It's a bit of a mastermind. We do have to play Man United, still City, still West Ham and Liverpool. My goal was to try and not win any more league games, bar Fulham and Leeds till the end of the season, and I hope that just is enough to us to slip it into 5th, 6th. 5th will probably be at a Champions League spot, to be fair. It puts us on 62 points. Look, I think I need to get 66, 67 points to probably finish in 5th. 68 was enough for 5th. Yeah, so if I can get to 66, 67 and then not get any more points, superb. And then we hope that the rest of the teams catch us, of course, as well. That is the case. And to be fair, West Ham played the same amount of games as me. Man City could go only one match behind us. as well. Chelsea are 1 point behind us. That game against City, if we can throw that one, that's great. It's weird saying about throwing games. It sounds disingenuous, but, for me to stay here at Newcastle, it's either A, we lose one of these games in the FA Cup and we have to do it all again next year, or B, we win the FA Cup and then we get a year where we finish 6th, so we can target that said Europa League run, or else then what's the point of staying here? I'll probably resign. With that being said, let's go and see what we can do there as well. And with that too, let's see what we can do. And I've got Premier League games for Chelsea who they need to win. Wow, massive game for West Ham and Man City in there as well in the contents of the league, because we're keeping an eye on it. Man United is not Liverpool out of the FA Cup. That ain't a bad thing, because I think I would rather play United than Liverpool in the save. Only injury news for us is Smith Rowe did pick up an injury. He's out pretty short term, but he will miss today's game. Outside of that, full strength side. You saw us pump Leicester, obviously, in the first part of this episode. Let's go and hopefully pump West Brom. But the only other championship side that we played away from home was Blackburn, and they nearly FM'd us. So let's go and have a look at how they're lining up here. West Brom, is there any people that we might know? Simone Scuffet, I definitely know. Used to be a wonder kid back in the day. Ortega, another one. Know who he is too. Outside of that, few people that people may realise there. Willie Simpson. I reckon I thought he was a real life player. Maybe someone with a different name. Darnell Furlong, I know that name. Connor Taylor, another one that's been in and around that lower level of England. Look, you would say that this is a team we have to beat. So hopefully, fingers crossed that we will. Now lining up in the 4-3-3. Oh, they had Trevor Chalobah in there, or Chalobah, one of the Chalobahs in there too. I didn't even realise that. Nathaniel Chab. Nice. Look, let's hope we beat him. Let's see what we can do, and away we go. 10 minutes played. Brown, set piece, backstick. Lacroix doesn't win, falls to Harris. We get numbers around the ball and we press, but we don't win initially. If we were to win this game, the semi-final draw will be the first part of the next episode, by the way. We won't be doing the semi-final draw in this episode. But yeah, Trevor finds a ball to Malumbi, Jimenez, Ortega. Good touch. Good ball inside the Dieng. Should be picked up by Brown. It is. Falls to Osimhen. Lacroix has got time. Civet. Morgala. This back four when it is playing at its best is very, very unbeatable when it's at its best. There's a ball and a half to Victor Osimhen. Needs numbers at the backstick. Isaac's there. Should be 1-0. What a save from Simone Scuffet. Wow. It doesn't cut much more clear cut than that. Backstick all by yourself. And inside the 6-yard box, and Isaac misses thanks to a Simone Scuffet wonder save. As Morgala hits one just wide as well from the centre-back. But as it stands, 0-0. Set piece here for Brown. He's probably too far out to probably score. Wow. FM's had a bit of an issue with this since the update, where keepers seem to be very lax about balls that are going to hit their bar and leave it. It's hit the bottom of the bar, falls back to Lacroix, and he just taps over for his first goal this season. But yeah, look, a normal keeper would just jump and parry that over the bar. He's left it. Feel a bit bad for West Brom, but considering what Scuffet saved against Isaac, maybe we deserve to be 1-0 up anyhow. So we'll take the 1-0 lead, puts us in the driving seat, and the great words of Michael Oldham, if we keep a clean sheet, we win right now. Sometimes easier said than done on Football Manager. Morgala, Jude Bellingham, decided to turn into traffic instead of playing the way he faced. It's a mistake from Jude Bellingham. All 98 million, I'm a world-class player and I got a goal and an assist in the last FA Cup game. Instead, for whatever reason, which I cannot fathom, if he's going to turn out, he has to turn out the other way and a lot quicker. Instead, he dwells on it, and where he could just play it back where it came from so we can play the fullback, he decides, oh no, I'm just going to turn into him anyway. We concede, it is 1-1. Morgala, Bellingham. Still with Jude after that mistake. Boy over the top to Isaac's pretty good. Isaac's in. Scuff it with another massive save. If it wasn't for the West Brom keeper, we would nearly be out of sight by now. 1-1. Civet. Ball in. Cleared away. And that's that. Dominated here. But with a one shot and one on target, it's currently level here in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. Time still ticking. Seems like away ties against championship clubs might be our kryptonite. which is very odd. You should be pumping them most times than not. Just shows that the level of the championship is not bad in England at all. Time ticking, finding them hard to break down. I don't think there's a reason to change the tactic though. We are clearly creating more, and it was only a mistake from Jude Bellingham. That is the difference here of us being in the lead, and scuff it as well, by the way, because really should be 3 goals that we have scored, which includes the one we have. Anyway, Lacroix finds Sergio, finds Isaac, into Tisney. He drives. Ball in the box. Bellingham heads from about 1,000,000 metres out and heads over to the bar. Heads over the bar. 65 minutes played. Not our day out here. We don't have Smith Rowe to bring in. I am going to actually just bring in Sane as a player on that side. And Frimpong for Sailmakers. There's a bit more width and attacking width. But yeah, 1-1 here. We've dominated, but it's 1-1. FM providing one of those games. Remy, Lacroix, Civet, Osimhen, big chance, 1-on-1, should score. Scuff it with his 4th massive save. Scuff it with his 4th massive save. It is the West Brom keeper foiling us from being in the lead here at the moment. Osimhen, Bellingham, Brown, great ball. Osimhen, dinks. Was he onside? Not even a question of VAR. I thought he was very, very, very close to being off. And after all the goal opportunities Scuffet has saved, he is foiled by a little deft dink and giving him the eyes. And he goes the wrong way. And there we are. Wasn't even close. I am not convinced that that was onside still. We're going to get lines? We are going to get lines. Beautiful. Yeah, he's on. Just. There we go. And I think it's a lot closer than what those lines are saying too. But anyway, 2-1. We are back in the lead. And hopefully we hold on here for a semi-final appearance in the FA Cup. Grant goes back to Scuffet, who does not deserve to be on the losing side today, to be fair to him. Malumbi, Ortega. This will be the type of game where they just score straight away because FM can't handle it. Anyway, D8. Edwards. Well knocked around, but Brown picks it up and falls straight back to him. So, yeah, one of those games, boys. This is 2-2. Wow, should have been to hit the bar. You've played enough of these games of Football Manager to know that this game ain't over. This is a game you're meant to get FM'd in up. Right. Set piece, Frimpong. Or set piece, throw in, apologies. I thought he was picking it up to put it down. Anyway, Brown. Frimpong. Drives. Effort. Finish. What a run. It's only his first goal of the year. The complete wingback we brought on drives in between a few different players and, well, with his non-preferred left foot, drives it across the keeper. And, well, that's 3-1 and all she wrote. And we are into the semi-final of the FA Cup, you would imagine, from here. As much as West Brom try to FM us, a 2-goal league, I think would be too much for them to overcome right now. With that being said, there's a highlight from kickoff, and I'm trying to make it. I'm still going to make my change, which is Iamoto in as a bit more of a defensively minded midfielder. Osimhen's on a booking. I don't want to get him suspended. Kevin Kukui and Civet out for Ugrey as a little bit more midfield run here. Highlight ended straight away, thankfully. Time ticks away here. We've been absolutely dominant. If it wasn't for Scuffet, this game would have been over massively, and it wasn't for Jude Bellingham, they would not have scored. Iwawoto, Jude Bellingham, who outside of that mistake has had a pretty good game, to be fair to him. Goes on a run, cuts it. Kevin Kukui scores. It's only his 6th goal a year. He's been pretty lacklustre. From what I saw of him at AC Milan, he had a pretty good loan spell at Rangers. I thought, you know what, backup striker, he'll do wonders. Hasn't really done much this season. And yeah, but look, Bellingham with the ball. Deserves an assist after the mistake. We're 4-1 up. We're cruising into the semi-final of the FA Cup. And, well, it ain't over. It looks like a late doors onslaught. Now that we got past that, it could be an FMing sort of stage. Seems like the goals are just going to open up here in this game late doors. Could be one for West Brom as we give the ball away with Iwamoto. Seems like our midfielders don't want to keep the ball. Mercifully, they header over the bar. So there's no late nerves, even though there's only 3 minutes of added time. And, well, after being 1-1 for a long period and us looking like we were going to get FM'd, we are 4-1 winners. And we're in to the semi-final of the FA Cup. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, obviously Norwich have to play Middlesbrough, Spurs have to play Fulham. With that being said, barring Man United, we are odds-on favourites to win the FA Cup. Next episode, we'll start with the semi-final draw and, of course, have that semi-final. We are Wembley bound. We have been here before, but with West Ham, we weren't able to go all the way. With Newcastle, will we? We'll find out next episode. Thank you and goodbye.